Listen, every time you drop your price, you drop your authority. You're not giving people a deal. You're giving away your positioning. You're devaluing yourself. And the moment your client senses that, the sale shifts out of your control. The moment you cave on price, you teach every future client, because you teach yourself, that your value is negotiable. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. If your confidence collapses at the mention of price, you weren't leading the conversation in the first place. You were waiting for permission to be valuable. Let me show you how to stop discounting your way out of business. And let me show you how you can own your own authority. See, when you offer a lower price, you're not adjusting a number. Your price isn't a number. Price is a reflection of value. So when you adjust your number, what you're doing is you're rewriting the story that your client tells themselves about your worth, about your value. Do experts and authority people who are in high demand, who have things of value, lower their prices? And when you do that, the prospect stops believing your first number was honest in the first place. You started $1,000 and then you dropped to $800. They think, this isn't a serious person. They start assuming that every future number is also inflated. You've trained them not to believe you, and yet you're running around trying to know, like, and trust. You didn't just lower the cost, you lowered the trust. Discounting doesn't create loyalty. It creates suspicion. Clients start wondering, if they could drop the price like that, where else might they be hiding? What else might they be hiding? Or if they can drop if it took them $1,000 to deliver the process or the service or the program, and now they're going to do it for $750, what are they holding back? And what happens is if they buy on price, they certainly don't trust your process. All you've done is you've paid to get a customer, and what they bought was doubt. They didn't buy absolute certainty. See, if you think about it, when you discount your price, it's an apology in disguise. When you discount, what you're doing is you're subconsciously saying, I don't fully believe in the value that I'm offering. You've left your posture as the expert and the authority, and you stepped into the role of people pleaser. Experts don't apologize for value. They prove it. See, you've conditioned the buyer for all the future discussions you're going to have with them. See, once a client gets the discount, they never go back to even considering full price. You've trained them to wait you out, to stall until you flinch. The next sale won't start at full price. It'll start at the last discounted price. So if your confidence is negotiable, your commission will always be. You'll spend your career chasing clients who only buy when you break your own boundaries and promises to yourself and devalue yourself. And the moment you need a sale more than they need your solution, you've already lost. Here's what you need to understand. Price is never the issue. It's never the issue. Sales is the transference of the emotion of certainty. Price isn't the issue. Certainty is. You don't lose sales because of price. You lose them because the buyer isn't certain that your solution solves their problem, that you're bringing equal or greater value than the price. That means your job isn't to defend the number, it's to deepen their certainty in your value and the results that you're going to bring. Anchor the value before you name the price. Never throw out a number before they understand the transformation they're buying, before they understand what the get is. People only question cost when they don't understand the context of it. Build the value story so clearly, so emotionally, that the price feels like a fraction of the payoff. When they ask for a discount, take something away to justify the lower price. You can say something like, sure, we can absolutely lower the investment if we remove the implementation support or the post sale coaching. See, what you're doing is you're matching value to investment rather than surrendering your value. Use tiered offers to protect your top line. Create good, better, best packages. If they can't afford the best, guide them towards something better than doing nothing at all. This maintains the integrity of your pricing and gives them the power of choice. Change the comparison, not the number. So when someone says that your price is too high, it's only high compared to the wrong thing. That's all. So don't compare it to the competitors. Compare it to the cost of staying stuck. Price isn't expensive when it solves an expensive problem. Now, look, before we go any further, go ahead and download. I'm going to give you access to the Martinelli Sales Mastery mini course, especially the module on handling objections with confidence. Because when a client says, can you do better on the price? They're not really testing your number. They're testing your certainty. They're testing your value. And inside this free course, you'll learn how to reframe price objections without getting defensive, how to lead value-based conversations without caving or discounting, and how to keep your posture high even when the pressure is higher. This is how real sales pro protect margin and multiply trust. So grab the course now at the link in the description. You'll use it on your very next call, and you'll see the value it brings. Clients don't negotiate price first. What they're doing is they're gauging your posture. If they sense your conviction is soft, they figure that your price won't hold. So when you fold, they don't just win a deal, they win control. When you discount, you also teach your team that your standards are flexible, not just your prices. The way you sell is also the way they sell. So when leadership discounts under pressure, culture follows. You can't preach value and then practice fear and scarcity. You also teach your subconscious that fear wins. Every time you cave, you reward the behavior that you're trying to eliminate. You've just told your central nervous system that when I feel uncertain, I should play small. That's not selling with confidence. That's just kind of trying to get by. You teach the marketplace what to expect from you. The market doesn't see your intentions. It sees your actions. If you're always available at a discount, that becomes your brand. You teach yourself that money is scarce. And when you operate in scarcity, you attract buyers who live there too, who will never pay for your value. Your energy always finds a match. When you vibrate scarcity, when you're broadcasting that out, by the way you hold yourself, the words you use, your tonality, you meet clients who mirror you. You are always broadcasting your own belief about money. Make sure it's the right broadcast signal. Remember that money follows certainty, not desperation. Clients don't buy from the loudest voice in the room. They buy from the calmest, most confident. Your emotional state has to match the confidence you're asking them to feel in making the decision. The moment you center yourself and you regain control of your own internal state, you shift the dynamic. You stay in this place of authority as an expert. So stop selling the product and start selling the transformation of the problem solved, of the desire reached. Price lives in logic. People don't buy from logic. Transformation lives in emotion. People buy emotion. People will always pay more to feel safe, confident, and certain. Sell that. Use questions that restore authority. When someone says, can you do better on price? Respond, better compared to what? Compared to what? See, that single question reframes the entire conversation around value, not cost. Objections aren't resistance. They're not. Objections are smoke screens for people's uncertainty. You don't have to convince them. You have to recenter them. You have to bring them back to the value of your offering. See, I really believe that sales is sacred. I believe that sales is an act of service. But service doesn't mean servitude. You serve the clients best by helping them make a decision that honors the value of the solution. Now let's look about the only time you should discount. The only time is when it's a strategy of an equal exchange of value. So if you reduce your price, then you have to raise the commitment. So a larger order, a longer contract, a faster decision. You should never give a lower price without getting some significant consideration. So if somebody wants me to lower my price by 5%, then I'm going to expect you to buy 25% more. You want me to lower my price by 5%? I'm going to expect you to add another year to the terms. You want me to lower my 5%? I'm expecting a decision today and payment at the end of the week. I'm never going to give without receiving something of greater value. See, when a client asks for a deal, respond, I can do that if you can help me do this. I can do that if you can help me do this. That language keeps you in the driver's seat. Discounts should create leverage, not loss. Every single concession should strengthen the relationship, should expand the order, should speed up the process, should lengthen the time of service. So be sure to protect the perception of value at all costs. The real product isn't what you sell. It's the experience of certainty that they feel when they buy from you. Never discount that. If you have to give something away, give your excellence. Outserve, outcare, outlast, but never out-discount yourself. If you keep dropping your price, you're not losing the deal. You're losing your value. The moment you compromise on value, you compromise on your own self-identity. And I'll tell you straight, you will never outperform your own self-image. Sales isn't about being liked. It's about being trusted. So you have to hold the line. You've got to lead your buyer and never apologize for your value. Remember that every discount you give without cause costs you more than margin. It costs you your authority. Now, before you go, make sure that you've gotten access to the Martinelli Sales Method mini course. It includes the exact framework for how to respond when your value is being questioned. Not by lowering your price, but by raising your level of certainty so that you raise their certainty. This training, just this training alone, will help you hold the line, lead the buyer, and close with integrity without flinching or folding. So download it right now. And then what I want you to do is I want you to watch the very next video, 11 Sales Training Basics that beginners have to master. And I'll show you how to start producing results like a real pro. I'll see you there.